Hello everyone. So today I want to talk about truth. Is it better to tell the truth and hurt people or hiding the truth to protect people? I'm thinking notably about the Lebanon explosion when you know the why and how we protected people by keeping the truth, and you have all these people looking for the truth and understanding what happened, but you don't want to have a backlash on the victims, you know. And also thinking about Greenland. You know, when they took on Venezuela, of course, they say it was political, they were restoring democracy, but right away they said, yeah, we want that oil. You know, we want to control the narco traffic, we want that oil. They told the truth. Everybody said, okay, let's go. Now, Greenland, they're serving you a whole ton of excuses about having ships in Russia and ships from Russia and China, which we know we have optimal relationships with them. Russia has absolutely no issue, is not a threat to the United States. Actually, Vladimir Putin defends the United States. Now we realize that what do they want is the resources. Every time there is a territorial conflict, you look at what resources is there that they want. So tell the truth, because this is how people see honesty and want to negotiate with you, then rather than feeling offended because you think we're retarded and we're not going to find out the truth. So I'm very excited about the partnerships, about the US Department of War, the US Department of State. They are very honest, they are really straightforward. This is what we want, to feel like the people are heard and contribute and participate. So I'm so honored and grateful. Thank you for listening to us and joining the community, the online community, so we can all make decisions together. We kind of hope to see the Space Olympics. You have amazing technology. Not that I'm trying to start a war or anything, but we have amazing technology that people want to show off. So use Greenland, go ahead, do some games. But the land, it's so important to keep some land intact, because the day that global warming or the sun is going to swallow the earth, like Elon Musk said, or whatever, everybody's going to try to move to these cold places. They're going to become the new place to be. And we don't want them to be polluted with nuclear residual, and even their ecosystems that regulate the climate of the planet. So you don't want to go and mess that up. And that's it. Besides that, I'm all about digging resources if it's going to benefit people, if it's going to be for new technologies, new research, and not things that we know are dangerous, or for armament that you already have 1.5 trillion in armament budget for the Department of War. And we know that people are struggling with salaries, and yes, we're going to have some better tax refund this year, but that's a couple of $100. It's not going to make a big difference in our lives. I'm literally losing my home. And it's not just me. When I talk about me, it's because a lot of people in the United States are like me. This is why I'm so loud all the time, repeating everything, tagging everyone, because I know that the authorities know me and they have my back. So it's not that I have immunity or anything, but I feel like I'm more able to speak up on things that some other people don't dare speaking up about, because they're scared to lose their jobs, they're scared of what people are going to say, they're scared of retaliations. I already lost everything, so I'm not scared of anything, you know? So that's why I'm speaking up, because I'm the middle class. I'm the single mom who struggle with one paycheck. Currently, anywhere, whether you're in France, in America, it's impossible to live if you're single. If you don't have two paychecks, one paycheck covers rent and the other paycheck covers for bills and life. It's impossible to live if you're single. So that is not normal. You shouldn't have to follow a certain societal pattern to be able to live properly. You should be able to live comfortably if you decide to be alone, or even if you're with a child, even more. You know, so we want this profit from the mining redistributed to us, so we all can benefit, so it actually serves the people, not new nuclear plants and new armaments and new wars and the budget that you already have all the budget and the space engineering. Fuck Elon Musk. Listen, the guy is already the trillionaire, the biggest, richest guy on the planet. And then they want to give more for uranium, for space engineering and stuff like that. But they want to destroy the planet to go to Mars. So of course I was all about Elon Musk when I thought I was going to marry him, open the Ministry of Sound. Yes. Why this change of speech? Not because he rejected me and my ego. I don't care. Like, of course, it breaks my heart. But getting over it, you know? It's because, yes, if you're in a certain industry and you show, or a political party, and you're showing openness to evolution, then it shows certain qualities about yourself. Okay, if he's built all these rockets, that is amazing, huge investments, right, in space engineering, but we know they're polluting. Every time a rocket takes off, it's a ton of smoke, it's a ton of combustions, and they want to launch thousands to go explore space, go to Mars. So we know this is not sustainable. So of course they made all these investments and now we're asking them to switch everything to something else. It's not possible, but it's going to be progressive, like what they did with Tesla and the EV vehicles. So I was asking that they invest at least in the International Space Federation, that they could bring the new type of energy to the US government, to the space engineering, because they are the specialists. I'm just the bridge, right? This is why the Ministry of Sound that I wanted to open in Florida was a bridge to employment. It was a bridge to science. It was a bridge to artists and culture. I'm not a specialist in space engineering. I'm passionate about it. I love it. But the specialists, the people you have to invest in, is the International Space Federation. They are the ones who are bringing the new energy and who have the equation for electromagnetism and anti-gravity. And still, they had to move back to Geneva, probably for the same reasons that I'm leaving America. You know, so you have your high-skilled people leaving America because we're being bullied. And even though you guys are all so nice, and this is priceless, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't pay the bills though. You know, you have your high-skilled people that are escaping America, that are leaving, and the low end as well, like Billy Carson was saying, the people who do the jobs that nobody wants to do here, you're kicking them out too. So you're left with a middle class in between here that is struggling and can't pay rent, and then you have all the billionaires that are filling up their pockets and you know, taking the uranium and nuclear and building nuclear plants. So that is not normal. This is more important than ever that we work together and we talk about redistributing the resources and sustainable projects for the environment. Okay, guys, so I know I don't come up live often because I'm so busy with my moving, and most of the time I look like shit, to be honest with you, because I'm just like very scared and I'm very petrified with all this. So you guys' support means a lot to me. I'm very, very grateful. I know it's good to sometimes, if it's not working, you have to let go, start over somewhere else. You know, they say a flower can bloom in the wrong environment, right? So if it hasn't worked with the UN and everything, I'm extremely disappointed. I feel like they're really, betrayed our team. I was going to bring so many awesome people to the United Nations that are respected, that the government would be able to work with. You know, it's of course affinity and trust matters. People don't work with communities they don't trust. So that's why it was important, after building all this trust for so many years, that I would go and work at the United Nations, that I would hire people from this community that has the trust. So then the government would listen and take us seriously. Well, thank God I don't need that. They do take me seriously, so I'm grateful. But still, was it worth to lose it all? So I'm very nervous about going back to France. There is no job there. The salaries are really low, and I really feel like I'm overskilled for a lot of jobs, and the high skilled jobs, I don't have nothing on my resume, nothing interesting really in my resume to show. So, it's like 40 years old, going to mommy and going to work as a waitress is kind of very depressing and irritating. And still, I know I'm contributing in my way with the ideas and all the research, because all this research that I make online and connecting people, like, you can't really put this on your resume. It's all intangible heritage that serves its purpose, because most of the people that do work a full-time job, they don't have time to do that. The United Nations, they have to promote United Nations. Billy Carson promotes Billy Carson. The White House promotes White House. There's nobody really besides me who promotes the work of everyone, who digs into the research and the different political parties and different fields, also from science to art to spirituality and holistic healing and shamanism, all this stuff. So yes, it's a full-time job that I'm not paid for. So, the money matters. Money matters. And yes, of course, I'm competing for the Nobel Prize of Literature, and this be the greatest honor, and you have to believe, but you can't also put all your hopes in one thing. I've learned it the hard way. I've put all my hopes on the United Nations for 3 years. I was so sure. I was telling everyone, oh yeah, I'm moving to New York City. Telling everybody. Till lost it all, bankrupt. So, you